Hey everyone, so if you're living in Edogawa City, you already know it's a great place to be. But let's be real for a second. Figuring out the garbage rules can feel like you're trying to solve a super complicated puzzle, right? Well, today we're going to solve that puzzle together. We're breaking down the official guide into a simple, clear explainer. You know that feeling, don't you? You're standing there in your kitchen holding some empty plastic thing, and you just freeze. You have absolutely no idea where it's supposed to go. That moment of trash anxiety, it's totally a real thing, and trust me, it happens to all of us.
But here's the good news. You are definitely not alone, and it really doesn't have to be this confusing. Our whole goal today is to slice right through that confusion and give you the confidence to sort your trash like a total pro. So let's get started with the absolute basics. Okay, before we get into the nitty-gritty of what's plastic and what's paper, we've got to lock down the 4 golden rules. Seriously, if you can get these down, everything else is going to feel so much easier. Think of these rules as the foundation for the whole system. First up, be on time. Getting your trash out by 8 a.m. means a smooth pickup for everyone. Number 2 is sorting correctly, which is, exactly why we're here. 3, use the right spot. That prevents a lot of mix-ups. And that last one, keeping the site clean, that's all about being a good neighbor and showing some respect for the collection staff. It's a community thing. So with the basics covered, let's jump into our first big category, burnable garbage. This is your go-to bin, the one you'll be using pretty much every day. It's collected twice a week, so it's the real workhorse of your waste disposal.
So, what exactly goes into that burnable bag? Well, you've got the obvious stuff from the kitchen, like food scraps and eggshells. But here's a really important one. This is also where dirty plastic containers go. Yeah, even if it has that little recycling symbol, any food gunk on it means it contaminates the recycling. So it has to be treated as burnable. The same goes for plastics that don't have the mark at all, like old toys, and other things like rubber, leather, and used diapers. Now, to do this right, there are a few key things to remember. First, make sure you drain all the liquid out of your food scraps. And please don't pour cooking oil down the drain, just soak it up with a paper towel or an old rag. And here's a huge one for safety. If you're throwing out something sharp, like a bamboo skewer, wrap it up so it can't poke through the bag and hurt one of the collection workers. All right, moving on to the category that can make the biggest difference for the environment, recycling. This is where a little bit of extra attention really pays off. It might seem complicated at first, but I promise we're going to break it down into easy, memorable steps. So the absolute key to plastic recycling is this little symbol you need to start looking for. It's called the PLA mark. If you see the symbol, it's basically a sign telling you, hey, this item is a plastic container or some kind of packaging. Finding this mark is always your first step. Okay, this is the most important part, so listen up. It's a simple 3-point check. For a plastic item to be recycled, it has to pass all 3 of these checks. 1, does it have the PLA mark? 2, is it clean? And I mean really clean, no food bits left. And 3, does it have any of that shiny, silver, metallic lining on the inside? If it fails even one of these checks, guess what? It's burnable garbage. End of story. And here's what that rule looks like in the real world. On the left, you've got a clean food tray and an empty shampoo bottle. They pass the test. They're recyclable. But over on the right, a container that's still got food in it, a toothpaste tube, or a chip bag with that metallic inside, all of those fail to check. They've got to go straight into the burnable bin. Pet bottles, the ones for drinks, they get their own special treatment, but it's super easy. First, you're going to twist off the cap and peel off the label. Remember, the cap and label are just regular plastic packaging, so they go into your plastic recycling bag. Then, give the bottle a quick rinse, crush it flat, that saves a ton of space, and then just toss it directly into those green nets you see at your collection spot. Cans and glass bottles are even simpler. Just give them a quick rinse and then place them directly into their own containers. You don't even need a bag for these. The only thing you got to remember is the colors. Blue is for cans, and yellow is for glass bottles. Easy, right? Next up, paper. Newspapers, magazines, cardboard boxes, even most paper packaging, it's all recyclable. Just make sure you pull off any plastic bits, like the window on an envelope, flatten your boxes, and then bundle everything up neatly with some string. But take note, things like glossy photos, thermal paper from receipts, and tiny little shreds of paper can't actually be processed by the machines, so those have to go in your burnable bag. So we've covered all the daily stuff, but what about the things we only throw out once in a while? That brings us to non-burnables. This category is only picked up twice a month, and it's all about items that need to be handled carefully.
So what exactly fits in here? Well, think about small metal things like old pans or silverware. Any small appliance that's under 30 centimeters on its longest side. This is also for things like ceramics, light bulbs, and batteries. And this is where broken glass or glass cups, basically anything glass that isn't a recyclable bottle, should go. Okay, let's just pause here for a second. Some of these items are genuinely dangerous if they aren't handled correctly. I'm talking about things that can cause fires in the collection trucks or seriously injure the workers. So this next part is extremely important. For everyone's safety, always wrap things like knives or broken glass in thick newspaper and then write danger on it in big, clear letters. For old fluorescent light tubes, just slide them back into the cardboard sleeve the new one came in. And for anything that's pressurized, like a spray can, a lighter, or a little gas canister, make absolutely sure it's completely empty. Then put it in its own separate clear bag so it's really easy to see what it is. And no, you do not need to puncture them. All right, we are in the home stretch. What do you do with those big things that just won't fit in the bag? This last section covers bulky garbage and all those other special cases. The rule here is actually pretty simple. If you have a single item from your house and any side of it, the length, the width, or the height is 30 centimeters or more, it's officially considered gomi, which just means bulky garbage. This is a 4-step process, and you gotta follow it. First, you have to make a reservation, either online or by phone. They'll tell you how much the collection will cost. Second, you go buy the right garbage ticket from a local store. Third, you fill it out. And finally, you stick that ticket right on the item and put it out on your scheduled day. And this is what those bulky garbage tickets look like. You'll find them for sale at convenience stores and supermarkets all over Edogawa. Just make sure you buy the right one that matches the value they told you on the phone. And finally, this is really important to know. Here are the things the city cannot take at all. Big appliances like air conditioners, TVs, refrigerators, and washing machines are all covered by a totally different recycling law. The same is true for PCs, fire extinguishers, and car or motorcycle parts. For these items, you'll need to contact the store you bought them from or find a special disposal service. And that's it. You're now basically a sorting pro, equipped with everything you need to know about garbage in Edogawa. I know it can seem like a lot at first, but it really all just boils down to building small, consistent habits. So the question I have for you is, what's one little change you can make starting today? Whether it's just rinsing out one plastic container or finally tying up that stack of newspapers, every single one of those actions adds up to a cleaner, better city for all of us.